Good morning. I'm Cher Johnston. That's Mitzi. Welcome to my happy place. She's a happy kitty today. Very nice, cool morning. Huh, baby? Okay, I have my little Shasta daisies drawn out there. I have DMC floss 3347. I believe this is 444. I'm not sure. It's a bright yellow and I think it's close enough. And I have 3865. I think this is called winter white. You don't have to have winter white. You don't have to have and you don't, by the way, you don't have to use all the colors that I'm using. I'm just, people will ask. So we're going to start with, uh, you know what? Hang on, I had to pin that up because I don't know, it gets in my way. We're going to start today with these stems. And I'm going to jibber jabber a bit about stuff and things. I have two strands of my green thread, and I'm doing a stem stitch. So, stem stitch, you go forward 2 stitches and back 1. Um, keep the thread to one side or the other as you do. And this is good for stems, outlines, lettering. Sorry, I think that's a helicopter, maybe a plane. And I know you can't hear those if I'm not talking. My headphones sort of cancel that stuff out. All right, so I'm going to go from this one, and I'm going to go to the other one, the next one. So Shasta daisies in your embroidery garden are they really vary in size. From, I think they can be as short as like 6 inches. They can get up to like 3 feet tall, depending on where you want them in your garden. You're the boss. Hollyhocks are always very tall. They're like 8 to 10 feet tall. So put the hollyhocks in the back. And if I was designing a garden, I would put the back ones in first. I would stitch those in first and then do the shorter ones or the medium sized ones, and then put the little tiny ones in the bottom. Um, Also, hollyhocks are often different colors. You can have pink hollyhocks, blue, purple. Shasta daisies are always white with a yellow center. Now, there are other daisies, like a gerbera daisy, and you could do pink gerbera daisies if you would like. But that's not what we're doing today. We're going to do a Shasta daisy. Okay, now at the bottom, I'm going to come up Here I'm going to do leaves. We're going to do a detached chain stitch. Going back in where I came out and out a little ways away. Wrap the thread around the needle and pull through. And I'm pulling this direction so that it doesn't, just because. Then I'm going to go back down to the bottom again because I believe Shasta daisies pretty much have leaves at the bottom. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how it happens. So we're just going to, and I'm just going to put in a few because, I have 3 flowers that I'm going to do. And today I'm just going to jibber jabber at you because I can. I think I'm only going to do 1 flower today. And I'm just going to stitch and chat and we'll see. Maybe this will be about a 20-minute video. Let's just see. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do the leaves. Now you can do straight stitches for these if you would like. If you look at pictures of daisies, sometimes they have very long, not really thick, but they have a nice, sort of broad petals. And sometimes they have very thin. And you know what? Maybe those are not called Shasta daisies. But this is what we're doing today with the lazy daisy stitch. Now, I don't go clockwise around the flower. I like to jump around because if you just go one after the other, you can tend to get shorter or longer or fatter or thinner, or they don't always come out all the same. Now also, you can do, and I think this one we're going to do just one. Look what I did. Not a problem. We'll just go through it there. You can do a circle and then do the center right in the circle. If you look at pictures of daisies, sometimes they don't face you. This one's going to be a not facing daisy. So the petals here are shorter. They're not actually shorter. They just look shorter because you're not looking at it straight on. You know what I mean? So now I think I have about 10 minutes already. That's pretty wild. I'm going to do more of these and fill in, but I'm going to do it off camera because you know what? It's easier for me to stitch off camera, and I don't think I don't think I want to record an hour-long video of me just doing the same thing over and over and over. Might be fun for me, might not be fun for you. So I'll be back and we'll do the centers. All right. Okay, it might be important to say I have 2 strands of DMC floss. The white, I used 3 strands. I don't know how important it is. Oh, this is, I'm doing 1 wrap French knots. Point the needle away from your fabric and then wrap the thread around the needle. And then you're going to go back in, have to be that close. Go back into the fabric like 1 thread away from where you came up. And then holding it from the back, I'm going to tighten that down and hold the thread and pull through. Now, don't pull too hard. You don't have to overdo it. You can get the knots too tight, or sometimes pull through to the back, or all kinds of stuff. So just hold the thread, wrap the needle 1 time, and then down, and then pull tight, and then down to the back, not too tight. These are such happy little flowers, aren't they? I love Shasta daisies. I love the bright yellow centers. Okay, ladies and germs. You're still with me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Me and Mitzi. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know if you're going to join me on this adventure. Oh, and I do have a question. The lines between the flowers that I have right now in pink, bright pink, I was going to do after we're all done, and I might do a running stitch, or I might do little I don't know, flower garland things. And then I thought maybe I don't know really how important it is to have the names of all the flowers. I wasn't going to do that, but after I finished the hollyhock, I thought, well, I could write it in there with a decorative, a decorative line. All right. Well, that's my video. Thanks for watching.